Also, I'm the co-owner of Kids Castle Childcare. I'm a certified life coach focusing on entrepreneurial couples. I've been in business for over 20 years. So yeah, I've learned some hard lessons. I've earned some great rewards as well. So I am super honored to be a part of this platform tonight to talk to those who are ready to launch in the entrepreneurial world, or those who just want to hear about it. They're kind of at the edge and they're teeter-tottering on if I should or if I should not. But I'm here to help you, honey. I will put my hand in your back and I will push you over the edge, because it's better to take a risk and fail to never have taken a risk at all. So yeah, I'm excited. Let's do it, Jordan.
For sure. Listen, she will really put her hand in your back for sure, because she's put her hand in mine plenty of days. So moving right into the presentation, we're talking about vision and purpose. And so we're looking at what is the definition of vision? What is the definition of purpose? And how do I truly find my purpose? How do I know that the vision that I have in my mind is the vision that I'm supposed to be taking on? And what does that look like? Ms. Aleacia, I'll let you expound more, but I really want you all to take in consideration what this looks like for you, and thinking about these definitions from a new perspective.
So yeah, I'm sorry. Hold on, I lost my, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, so an entrepreneurial vision, because y'all gonna see me, y'all gonna hear this, okay? So, all right. An entrepreneurial vision considers what you want. Like what are your vision? What does your venture look like? What do you want your venture to become? What's your driving force? What values and culture should surround your vision? The vision is the act or power of seeing. And you start seeing within yourself before it becomes tangible, where you can actually see it in the full manifested form. So in your vision, it may seem like, oh my gosh, this is weird. Like, why would I want to, I'm just gonna throw something out there. Why would I want to start a boating business? What is it about boating that makes me want to start a business with boating? But that's the vision you see. That's what's within you. That's where it starts. Don't let anyone sway you saying that that's ridiculous. That doesn't make sense. But that's your vision. And then moving over into your purpose. So your purpose is your reason. Have you ever really thought about, like, what's my reason? What's my why? Sometimes we spend life trying to figure out, like, we can go as deep to say as, why was I born? Why am I here? You know, that might be, if you ask the wrong person that, they'll kind of look at you weird. But really within ourselves, we want to know, what is my reason? Why am I here? And you have to dig within yourself. There becomes a pattern in your life. If you just kind of retrospect back and see different things that have connected you, different threads that have just kind of been a pattern through your life, it'll bring you to where you are today. As far as me, my purpose was developed realizing, like, why do I have a burden for children? Why do I care that this child is, this parent is not handling this child properly in the store? Or why am I concerned this child is not getting what they need? Or, you know, I'm just burdened over the school system and everything. It was a thread, even down to back in my playing days, in my childhood, looking back, like, I'm concerned about the smaller children. I should be running with the bigger children, but I'm concerned about the small. It becomes a pattern through your life that if you're looking for your purpose, you'll just kind of retrospect back and see, oh, wow, this is why I'm where I'm at today, because of my divine purpose. It's a pattern. It's a God-given, and it is a light. When you become an entrepreneur or on this journey, you will need to remember your purpose, because that will be your guiding light in the midst of a foggy night, honey, because you have highs and you have lows, and you will have to remember, why am I doing this? Why did I put myself in this position? Because it's your purpose. And it's your entrepreneurial vision that you had to get off the porch and you had to run with the dogs.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So yeah, you would have to identify, who am I? That's your identity. Where am I from? That's your source. Why am I here? That's your purpose. What can I do? That becomes your potential. What can I do? Where can I go? That's your destiny. Where am I going? The desire to success. So those are questions that you have to pose upon yourself as you're in seek of your vision and your purpose. They are married. Vision and purpose, they're married. So once you have the vision and your purpose, they become one. And without your purpose, as we go on through the slides, you'll see as Jordan expounds on your business plan, then you'll see why if you don't have a purpose, you don't have a plan. So as when you get ready to develop that business plan, remember your purpose. So sit on that, let that sit in you for a little bit and just kind of ponder on my reason and my why. Okay.
Yeah. No, that was good. That was real good. Yeah, for sure. Because they are married. They do go hand in hand. I think about many times, trying to figure out purpose or, what is my purpose? What does this vision look like? And trying to tailor that to one thing. And it's like, no, God is hinting at this too. God is putting this on your heart to not just be tailored to one thing, but really listening and sitting with yourself to understand what that looks like or what that means for you and your vision in life altogether. I want to take the time to look at some definitions that we may have heard before, but looking at them from a different perspective. When we think of the word entrepreneur, sometimes it can be daunting to be an entrepreneur. Sometimes that means responsibility, that means sacrifice, that means what am I supposed to do as an entrepreneur, what product, what service. But an entrepreneur is really someone who has an idea, they identify that idea, they identify a need, and they act on it. They act on it. It is a person that executes. It's a person that takes initiative, a person that is willing to find solutions to problems. So we look at an entrepreneur from a different mindset and we take on the entrepreneurial mindset, which is a willingness to move forward, a willingness to problem solve, a willingness to see things around you. And how can I kind of make this easier, or how can I do something that is impactful to solve this problem? We think about it from a business standpoint, and in creating my business, I saw a need in my community and realized it was something that I was passionate about. I knew it was purposeful and I acted on it. But how can I do this in my everyday life? So thinking or taking initiative to be like, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice going to bed at 8:30. We're going to move this to 9 o'clock so I can find my clothes tonight and not have to sacrifice in the morning. So taking a look and analyzing at what things can I kind of save myself from to make things a little bit easier. Have any of you all ever thought about being an entrepreneur from this standpoint, or having an entrepreneurial mindset that really pushes you to be innovative in your personal life, or taking on initiative to be more proactive? Anybody? Okay. So as you've heard of the entrepreneurial mindset, or thinking about an entrepreneur from a different lens?
I'm sorry, say that one more time. You broke out a little bit.
I said, so you've heard of the entrepreneurial mindset, or thinking about being an entrepreneur from a different lens?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, growing up, I could honestly say I'd never even considered having a business or running my own organization until, like you said, I seen a need or like a lane or something that was missing in my community, and I just wanted to fill that space or try to do something to be proactive in that lane that was missing.
Yeah, that's good. Miss Jasmine, you've thought about it from this perspective before?
Yes, I have. Good evening, everyone. Yes, I have. Well, really, even what your first definition was, thinking of something that someone has never done. And I remember I was watching a TD Jakes sermon, and he said, pray for God to give you ideas, because, it's easy for us to replicate businesses we've seen be successful. And there's nothing wrong with that, because there is a need. But what sets us apart from everyone else? And so I started, praying for that. Like, how do I find my niche? How do I know, like, this is what God wants me to be doing on the earth? So yes, I have thought about it from different standpoints.
Gotcha. Thank y'all so much for sharing. Again, we want this to be interactive because there are a lot of bosses on the line, but there are also people who are bosses in their own right who just have not taken that step of faith. So really encouraging you all to take that step of faith, because that's really what it takes. Knowing that what was put in you for a reason. So there are a couple more definitions that I want to go over about having an entrepreneurial mindset or taking on the spirit of an entrepreneur. So that is being able to be an overcomer, having a can-do attitude, even when obstacles arise, because they will come up, having an entrepreneurial vision. So what are the driving forces that are keeping you going, considering this venture? Also having that value proposition. What does this product or service, what value does it have? So we start with identifying a need or an idea. It's kind of like a formula. Identifying a need or idea, being solution focused, and then understanding the value that this venture provides. Again, even in your day-to-day lives, if there are interests that you have, what need do I have for this interest? Why do I have this interest, or like music or like art? And how can it be valuable? How can it be impactful for me to create a vision around this interest? We'll talk about now how to maintain your entrepreneurial vision. So you come up with an idea, you come up with a vision for your life. How do you maintain it on days that get hard, days when you say, I don't feel like getting up, I don't feel like working on this vision, I don't feel like doing anything that pertains to purpose right now because I'm just in a mood? So we have learned some things on this journey that have been valuable in business and valuable in our day-to-day lives as well. One of those things are utilizing everything. Everything has purpose. Every experience you have been through has been one of your best teachers, and what you need is already inside of you. So looking at that and saying, what experiences do I have that really produce purpose and passion inside of me? I know when I was working on my business, I felt so much joy. I still feel joy in working on it. But in the beginning stages, I'm like, this really brings me joy when I'm working on building up the pillars of hope. So utilizing experiences that I have had in the past that really pushed me into purpose. I know Ms. Aleacia kind of expounded on this in the beginning, but one of the biggest experiences for me is that I had an epiphany in college. I originally went to school for exercise science. I got there and I had to come to the realization that obviously I really don't want to be touching people's feet. I don't want to work with blood. I don't want to do anything that has anything to do with exercise science and being in the therapeutic industry. So I realized I wanted to go into business because I knew I could not be boxed in. But what does that look like? What is that vision? What do I see myself executing in business? So when I moved to the DMV, I was exposed to so many different resources. They really do a lot of things for their community and the needs of the people in the community. And I realized that my community had a need for resources that was not there. And so when I started working with the people in the community, I'm like, yo, I'm really passionate about helping people. I'm really passionate about helping people become the best versions of themselves. So what can I do with passion and purpose that will really highlight this? So that experience of being in a different space outside of my comfort zone, but being exposed to different opportunities really pushed me into purpose and utilizing it in my business. Also, the power of your circle, utilizing the connections that you make, knowing that your team is very important. Not always having yes men on your team, but people who will really, like Ms. Aleacia said, put their hand in your back to push you and propel you into purpose, even on the days when you don't feel like it. And to network, you never know who is in the room. That one hello, even tonight. There are some people on tonight that really are influencers, that are really people that are good to network with, to just to find that one hello, that this is what I needed to really push me into purpose. Utilizing the connections. I realized when I was creating my business that there were people around me who I knew I wanted to help push the vision, who I knew I also wanted to help push their vision. I realized that my marketing director of my website, my business card, I realized was in my circle. I realized that my videographer was in my circle, my photographer was in my circle, and I wanted to be able to utilize the connections to not only push my baby or my business, but to push their vision as well. Any questions, any comments anybody else online who can also say that these are part of lessons that they've learned on their journey in entrepreneurship or just building a purpose-driven life?
I agree 1,000%. I feel like, as you said, like your divine purpose and when it's meant to be, it's just going to kind of, it never, not it says, it never works flawlessly, but it works so well. Sure, there are little hiccups, but it works so well. You're like, how is this going this way? But it just gels so well. So like you said, we helped each other in just knowing like, okay, this person is literally somebody I just happen to work with.
Yes.
I see what she's saying. She sees what I'm saying. We believe in each other and it works that well. So like networking, having those conversations, because if I just was so business about it, like only talk to me about what we do at work, we would not have known what we do outside of that.
Side plug, that is my website creator, that is my logo creator on this chat right now. So again, you never know who you're in spaces with, who you're in rooms with, and I hope y'all look at the website after for those who have not checked out the website. But amazing work, phenomenal work. We were in a setting together at work, and it's like we could have just kept it work related, but we realized we have gifts, we have common interests, and how can we help each other build each other up in our everyday lives and in business? Was somebody else's hand up? I don't want to miss anybody. All right. Moving forward into one of the most important, I think, lessons in this journey of life, lessons in this journey of entrepreneurship is believing in yourself, believing that what was put in that notes app is something important, something powerful that needs to be shared with the world. Remembering your why. We talked about that a little bit earlier, but on the days when you don't feel like doing anything with purpose, remembering why you started, letting your gifts make room for you, and enjoying the process, which I think is one of the hardest ones to do, because as it was stated before, everything will not be perfect. All I's will not be dotted on the first time. All T's will not be crossed. But just remembering that those experiences, those lessons, those mistakes are your best teacher, to keep you propelling forward. Miss Aleacia, anything you want to add?
Yeah, just to piggyback on that, Jordan. So tough times don't last, but tough people do.
Yes.
And in this entrepreneurial vein, you're going to have to be tough. You're going to have to get tough skin because, again, every day will not be pleasant, but you got to remember your why. And at the same time, as Jasmine was saying too, that your gifts, you have God-given gifts. So you have to understand, as we spoke earlier, if you have the ability to sing or draw and it just comes natural to you, you may not realize that that's my business. I can make money from my natural talent, from the gift that God gave me. So, but because it becomes natural to you, you don't realize how much you can really gain from something that comes natural. Your gifts truly will make room for you. As you write your business plan and have an idea of what the problem that you want to solve, then you'll say, okay, you got to be able to pivot. You got to be able to turn because your vision will swell. It may not start out, it may not continue how it starts out, but I promise you, it will swell. You got to be flexible and you got to be willing to pivot and turn. And again, put that guard down, network, talk to those people that you may generally not talk to. I mean, it's okay to strike a conversation because you don't know what that person is holding within themselves. And at the end of the day, enjoy the process. Honey, you are the boss. You write your own check. So it depends on you how much you make or how less you make, depending on how much you believe in yourself. You have to sell yourself, sell what's in you. But number one, you got to believe in it. You got to believe in what's in you. You got to believe that it will make money for you. You create your own lifestyle. It depends on if you believe in yourself and willing to do the work. As you said earlier, Jordan, if you're willing to make those sacrifices, stop procrastinating, line this stuff up. Honey, I told you yesterday, I need a pill. I got to slow down. but this is my truth. This is my truth.
Yeah.
But because I want to go to the next level.
Yeah.
And I gotta just kind of get things lined up. I've been in it 20 years. That don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
Times are changing. So I gotta be flexible.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta pivot. I gotta go with the times. But number one, I believe in me. Yeah. If no one else believes in my married couple, my vision and my purpose, I believe in me. And I trust the process. And number two, I'm going to enjoy the process.
Yeah. Yeah. That's big. That's big. Trying to enjoy it, even when obstacles, you know.
You got, it's a what can I say? A mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You understand the good come with the bad. I can't let bad news destroy my attitude. I can't let it destroy my energy, because it's going to change. Okay, I messed up over here a little bit, or I got to tweak it over here a little bit. I just got to rework it. I just got to sit in it for a few minutes, process it, and then move forward, because bad news is not going to dim my light. Right. It's not gonna sway my journey. It's just going to help me get stronger and more focused on where I'm going. So yeah, it's some dark days and it's some high days, but being an entrepreneur, you can't be up and down. When they see you, your face got to be set. Now unless they're in your network circle and that's somebody you can talk to, like, oh my God, you can vent to that person. Other than that, when they see you, we together.
Game time.
Yeah.
It's game time. It's game time.
For sure.
For sure. Any other entrepreneurs, anybody else on the journey to creating something purposeful? Any lessons that you are currently learning right now in your journey? Amber?
Hey, so yes, I am in the process. I have 2 businesses with designing and I'm an esthetician. So during this journey, I feel like I had a lot of doubt in myself, scared to really push myself, because what if this person didn't like this? What if that person didn't like it? What if they don't come to me? But I had to realize that, somebody is going to like it. Somebody is going to come. They're going to support you. So I had to get those negative thoughts out my mind and just try to stay positive. Granted, it was a process, because I do get those thoughts like, well, what if, but I've been pushing it and it's been working, trusting the process, of course, and just keep moving forward and just speaking those positive things into myself, So it's been good.
Yes, ma'am. Proud of you. Serial entrepreneur. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Mr. Lee, is your hand raised? No, not for this segment. Thank you so much for sharing. I think there is importance in hearing about other people's journey, because a lot of times we feel that we are in it by ourselves. And it's like, no, there's somebody else who also has been through this, who also has some insight on what this feels like and maybe how you can get over that hump, or, keeping that overcoming attitude at the top of mind. So we're going to get into a portion that is even more interactive. I'm going to put a link in the chat. This segment is called Are You Ready? So we'll share with you some interactive tools to see if you are ready for entrepreneurship, teaching you more about your personality, how you work in groups, how you work as an individual. These are assessments that I have seen that have been very vital to learning about myself as a leader, learning about myself as a team player. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop it in the chat. And we want you to share with us the answers that you all are getting back. This is called the DISC Personality Assessment. It is an assessment to really look at your personality. How do I act in groups? How do I act as an individual? Does this really represent me? Do you all have access to it? It's working.
Yes, it's working.
Perfect. Thank you. Anybody utilize this assessment before? If you utilize it with me, don't speak, but anybody else utilize this tool or seen it to be resourceful?
Yes, if you're honest with the questions and yourself, it is very informative.
We'll just give y'all a couple minutes to utilize the assessment, see the responses that you're getting, hearing some feedback if you're shocked about getting these answers. It is broken down into D, I, C, and S. So that's being dominant, being influential, being compliant, and being steady. So if you look at this screen, it breaks down what these different letters represent, and who you are in groups. Again, a lot of Fortune 500 companies utilize this assessment tool to see who's really on the team, who are the dominant people on the team, who are the influential people on the team, the steady people and the compliant people. The good thing about this is you need all of these type of people on a team. There is not just all influential people or all dominant people on a team, but you need a steady balance of each of these type of people. Anybody getting responses so far? Y'all still working? Whenever you get your assessment results, you can feel free to raise your hand in the chat or utilize the chat. All right, so I'll let y'all ponder on that. And I'm going to share some more resourceful tools that I have seen help you to analyze if you are ready to be an entrepreneurial. This is the Entrepreneurial Potential Self-Assessment. So it really helps you to analyze some skills that are obtained in entrepreneurship. I know we mentioned them before, being able to be flexible, being able to pivot. Also the On That Interest Profiler, which is another tool to just see if you have any interest as far as career on a day-to-day job, interests that you may have had a while back to see if they have changed. And if there is any value in utilizing these interests to potentially create a business or to potentially have it as an asset or a way of relaxation or relief in your day-to-day life. So again, we talked about music being one of those interests. So if it's something that you're interested in, seeing it as a way to maybe create a potential avenue of money or just an avenue of relaxation for you. So I'll go ahead and put these in the chat also, so you do have the opportunity to utilize them. Any questions about the resources as we move into business planning?
Will you go back to the previous slide, please?
I sure can.
Jordan, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
So after doing the assessment and preparing yourself for your business, how did it impact, how did it change your view of moving forward with your business?
Yes. So are we referring to the DISC assessment?
Yes.
Yes. So the DISC assessment, I'll get into what my answer has always been every time I've done this assessment. I am an I. So I am influential, inspiring. I'm very enthusiastic when it comes to things that I am passionate about. And I want to have fun doing it. But I realized that I need people on my team who are dominant, I am one who delegates when need be, but I like to hear the voices and opinions of people on my team. Sometimes it's like, all right, we just got to get it done, and so it really made me analyze who around me that I needed to kind of alleviate just all I realized that working in the sector of nonprofit, there are a lot of people who are I's, which is very rare. I've done this assessment in a larger group, and I was the only I in the room, right? Myself and the person facilitating at the time. So it's very rare that you have a lot of I's in the room. But being able to be cognizant of that, I'm like, I need other people on my team who are different from me to help me, with certain things that may not be a strong point for me.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that question. Anybody else got questions?
I see people putting responses.
Okay,
Yes.
let's see.
Aja also is an I, and Jasmine is a D.
Okay. Were y'all shocked? Odd, you were an I?
I don't know how. I think that was like an automated response. I'm a C.
Okay.
Oh.
So yeah. So I can agree with me being a C,
Okay.
doing it right. I'm very detail oriented, especially when it comes to business. Like I want to comb through everything. I can sit and talk really to my mama, the one, Miss Aleacia. I can talk to Miss Aleacia for hours. If we got something planned, I want to make sure it's right from the top to bottom, entry to exit. So yeah, I can definitely agree with me being a C.
Okay. I see Jazz, you got a D also?
Yes, I got a
Sounds about right.
D.
Okay.
That's probably about right. I like a lot of order. Like at our when I used to work there, I would be like, look, this is this is not working. We're not doing no confusion. So I would a lot of times be like, this is what we need to do. And I think that makes that's why I love school, because like I like teachers, I like people who give me instruction or like, this is how you need to do this, because I can follow directions if I think the directions are clear. If they're not, I'm going to tell you as well. I'm going to be like, that's not what we're doing. And I'm pretty competitive, so I would say yes. And I am a doer. I like to get things done.
Okay. Aleacia, you got a S?
Yes, I got support.
Okay. Were you shocked?
No, I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me. Like it says, I look for ways to assist and serve people. So I can definitely see that.
Marty, you got D. Is that shocking or it makes sense? It's accurate. Okay. Miss Latasha, you got INS. This makes sense for you? Okay. I'm gonna say yeah. You can feel free to share at the end. Oh, you're still on mute. Okay, let me try to unmute you. Let's see. It's all right. We can save it to the end. But thank you all so much for participating. Again, these are resources that you can utilize outside of just today. I like to do these assessments at different times of the month just to see if anything has changed, if any of the assessments point out anything new about my interest or my entrepreneurial goals. Again, I'll put these resources in the chat once we finish up, so you have access to them, to utilize them maybe in your own business as well with your own team. Now we're looking at planning. And the overarching goal for tonight is to make sure that you are cognizant of your purpose, cognizant of vision, and really being strategic about how you plan for that and how to have tools and utilize tools to help you navigate that journey. So we talk about that from a business standpoint of entrepreneurship, but also just in everyday life. So now we're looking at an inkling of a business plan, which was very detrimental to me creating my business, very vital. So what this goes down and describes is setting up your business name, what problem, we talked about that in the beginning, what need do you have, what solution are you providing, your product description, starting with a mission statement, a vision statement, what value are you providing, and also strategic goals. These can be short-term goals or long-term goals that you want to implement over the course of time. There are different business resources that you can access online as well. This is one that I utilize in teaching people how to create a business plan on their entrepreneurship journey. I'm happy to take any questions after the session. If you're looking to really start and you're kind of on the fence about creating something with purpose, creating a vision with purpose, whether that is a business that is for-profit or nonprofit, I'm happy to assist you in looking at what that process looks like for you. Any questions? Again, Miss Aleacia and I will stay on at the end for anybody who does have extra questions. They want to kind of tap in more of learning about how to find out about purpose, building a business from scratch. I also, again, we'll provide those resources in the chat, but just want to kind of just hone in on just making sure that you pay attention to those nudges, making sure that you really do not leave these ideas in your notes, okay? Making sure that you are really being discerning about what it is that you're really put on this earth to do. We were all put here with a purpose. We were all put here to really be impactful, to be able to share in community, which is one of the reasons why I created my business, to be able to share in community and be a resource for other people for centuries to come. Whether I'm here or not here, it'll be something that other people can be impacted from in a positive way. So I hope tonight that you take these resources with you to implement in your day-to-day lives, also in your businesses, to continue to create something with purpose. If you've been on that edge, nudging, is this something that I should do? Is this something that I should create and really execute? I hope tonight pushes you to take that step of faith and go ahead and to live a purpose-driven life. Again, we'll stay on for anybody who has questions, but be sure to connect with us on social media via our website. I'll also be sure to put a link to our website. You can go there yourself, but to connect with us to be sure that you are in the know of all the things we have coming up the rest of the year, the rest of this month. We are doing the Visionary series every Thursday this month at 6:30 p.m. Next week, we will have Mr. Christian Noble and Ms. Talia Stewart talking about discipline and prioritizing objectives. So all this month, we're talking about building our vision. Last week, we worked on creating a vision board. Now we're working on executing, giving you tools to execute the vision. Next week, we'll be talking about discipline. How do I discipline myself to execute this vision? And how do I also keep my mental health intact while I'm on this journey? Again, the journey is not always perfect. The journey is not always sweet, but the journey is always worth it. Again,
Yes.
If you have questions, yes, somebody speaking.
I said it's necessary.
It's necessary.
It's that you got to die empty. You cannot, what a disappointment.
Yeah.
What a disappointment, as you are a whole experience and the world deserves to experience you.
Yeah.
So don't leave here with everything you came here with. Leave empty, pour it out.
Yeah.
You got some good stuff in you. If you didn't, I don't think you would be here tonight. I don't think you would be on this Zoom tonight. You would not be interested. So definitely there's a pulling and there is a vision within you and a purpose. You just kind of, as Jordan said, on the fence about it. If you're not already in full operation, if you are, God bless. Honey, I bid you guys speed. We in this thing together. But when I go and leave here, I want to be empty. All right, that's the plan. And I believe it's the plan for everybody here too. So this has been a awesome experience. Jordan, you said so many things. I got a lot of nuggets. But I would like for you to recap on the formula. You said there was a
Yes.
formula.
Yes. So the formula is identifying a need or a problem, being solution focused, having a solution to that problem or need, then identifying the value. There's value and the impact. So the need plus the solution equals the impact.
Good stuff. Thank you, ma'am.
You are welcome. Any other questions? Anybody want to go back on a certain piece?
Can you go back on the business planning for me, please?
Yes. Any questions about it?
I had some questions, but it probably honestly goes to next week's session. But how to stay consistent. I feel like my life changes a lot. I'm in graduate school, so I'm working full time and I'm in graduate school. And so every few months my schedule changes, my life changes, and I'm like, okay, I had so much time to do this, but now I don't. So how can again, I guess this is for next week, but I'm asking you too, because you both have been doing this for a good amount of time at this point. How do you stay consistent? What helps you with that?
Great question. Ms. Aleacia, you want to go first? Or?
I can.
Okay.
Again, that's having the mindset of I know what I have to do.
Yeah.
And I every so many months, it's going to change. Just kind of prepare yourself for it. You said you were more of a detail, more of a focused person. You kind of got to let that down just a little bit, because you're in a season where things are going to be a little topsy-turvy, and you got to be okay with it, because it's just for a season. They didn't come here to stay. So you kind of chart your time and say, this is what I have to do, because you start with the end goal in mind. So you already know, I'm going to finish graduate school. I got to continue to work. So what will I do? How will I stay consistent on this path? It will be by planning, looking ahead, and being flexible.
Yeah.
Being flexible to say, okay, it may not go perfect this way, but it's okay, because I have a goal in the end. So just kind of remember, like I said, the lighthouse, keeping your eyes on your purpose. Your purpose is to complete graduate school and to maintain your job or your business, or whatever else you have going on. So just keeping your eyes on that light and being flexible, able to pivot in tough times.
I totally agree. And I think for me, just put in like a little bit of time, like each day, okay, just an hour of my time has to go to this, or just, so not really grouping it like, okay, all day got to go to this, or I'm going to lose my mind, but just putting those pieces of time in there. Some days it may only be 30 minutes, but long as you're working towards that goal, okay, this is the piece I'm going to work on today. I'm going to dedicate this time to research. I'm going to dedicate this specific amount of time, just how I put everything else on my calendar. This specific amount of time is going straight to this, no distractions, straight focus. I know for me, I set so many alarms. So utilizing my alarms as a system too, like, okay, I'll put this on here as an alarm for me to work on this right now, and being cognizant of my alarms.
That's good.
Thank you, ladies. And everyone in the chat. That was helpful.
Yes. Any other questions? Did you all need to see any of the other slides? I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can start putting the tools in the chat so that you can take those away. No questions?